Colm. It's just a nightmare.
The man. The man.
It's just a nightmare. It's okay. They're there. Okay.
Fractured. A family, a nation, a dream. November 1921.
Mind him well now, Tomas. Brid is very good trusting you with him again.
I won't let him out of my sight, I promise. How's he doing anyway, Brid?
He's talking, but he's fixated. He saw something no child should have to see. This country.
Anna, don't upset yourself, Brid. You'll only upset him. Anna's upstairs, come on.
I blame Paddy Dooley. If he hadn't wanted his money so badly, none of this would have happened.
Well, young man, what would you like to do? Would you like to draw? Is that a nod? Can you say yes? Someone told me that you found your voice, but I think they were telling lies. Were they? I didn't hear that. I'll tell you what. This time I'll close my eyes really tight and listen very carefully. Oh, I thought I heard a noise there. But it could be anything. Did you laugh, Colm?
Yes.
Ah, that's better. We'll try it a bit louder.
Yes.
No, can't hear that.
Yes.
Didn't get that, sorry.
Yes.
Not loud enough. Am I deaf? Colm? Colm?
The man.
Is that?
Peter, you shouldn't be in the town.
I didn't expect to see.
This is Colm. His mother is upstairs.
Anyone else here?
They're all upstairs. It's not a good idea for you to be here. It's all right, Colm.
I thought he was mute.
He may as well be. He hardly says anything.
He was talking grand when I came in.
He was saying one word. He's a bit simple, so he is. You need to go before anyone...
You better not have too many other words, do you hear me?
What is it you want?
I have a message for you. I certainly didn't expect the young lad to be here.
I'm only looking after him while his mother, his foster mother, is upstairs.
Is he mute at home, do you think?
He hadn't spoken at all since they took him out of the workhouse. Stay back, Peter. You're scaring him.
What's that you doing there, Colm?
Just leave him be. You don't have to worry.
I think I've seen you somewhere before, Colm.
That's enough. I'm handling this. Just give me the message and go.
What's the hurry? I'm having a chat here with Colm. Have you seen me before, Colm?
For Christ's sake. It's okay, Colm. He's only joking with you.
I just want to know if the lad has seen me before. I'm told I have a common face. People are always mistaking me for someone else. That could lead to all sorts of trouble.
There'll be trouble in here if you don't go.
You're quite the big man now, Tomas, eh?
What is the message?
Now that I look closely at you, Colm, I don't think I have seen you before. It's very easy to make a mistake, though, isn't it, Tomas?
It is.
Thanks, Brigid. I'll see myself out.
For God's sake, Peter, give me the message and go.
How'd you get on, Tomas? Oh, Colm, a big hug for me legs. That's a lovely greeting to get. Moll was asking for you. You might be able to see her soon when she's feeling better. Thanks for minding him, Tomas.
He was no trouble, Brid.
You're Colm's mother?
This is a friend of mine, Brid.
Patrick Feeney from Carlo.
Pleased to meet you. I'm actually Colm's foster mother.
Aye, Tomas told me that. He's a great lad. I credit you.
We do our best.
Tomas was telling me that he had a terrible experience a few weeks back.
Oh, I'm not the better of it myself. I was one of the first to find the body, you know.
Did you see anything?
She didn't.
Well, I wouldn't say that now, Tomas. I saw a leg. Purple with the beating they gave him. Tortured, they're saying. The poor man must have been in fierce pain when what was done to him.
Really?
They say that both his legs were broken and all his toes, bar the big one on his left foot. That one, though, was half sawed off.
Oh, no.
And that wasn't the worst of it.
Brid hears a lot of things from a lot of unreliable sources, don't you, Brid?
Well, I resent that. I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. Paddy Dooley has a lot to answer for.
Paddy Dooley?
He might not have pulled the trigger, but he knows them that did.
Brid, you can't go around accusing people.
I'm only repeating what the whole town knows. Didn't Mossie owe Paddy a lot of money? And weren't they always fighting over it?
Proves nothing, so it doesn't.
He didn't even go to Mossie's funeral. A sure sign of a guilty conscience.
Has Colm said anything to you about what happened?
Not yet, but if he knows anything, I'll get it out of him.
I wouldn't go trying, Brid. You might upset him. Sure, he's mute anyway.
Haven't I after telling you he's not as mute as he was? If Colm has anything to say, he'll tell me. Won't you, pet?
You'd want to be careful there, Mrs.
It's them that did it need to be careful. Torturing a lovely man like Mossie.
I have a cousin down in Carlow. Same as yourself, took a child out of the workhouse. The young one started telling stories about the neighbours. Maybe she made them up or she overheard the parents talking. I don't know. The next thing, didn't they come and take the child back off her? Workhouse children can be terrible liars, and liars cost lives in these times.
They took the child?
Sure as I'm standing here. She never saw the child again. I think she might have been taken to Cork. It happens more often than you think. You ever heard of anything like that, Tomas?
Maybe.
The best advice I can give you is to leave matters as they are. Let him forget about the whole thing.
I think I'll be going. Come on, Colm. Come on.
The man.
Don't be silly. Come on now. Good boy. Oh, you're shaking.
The man. The man.
The man?
Yes.
I hope it didn't frighten you, or him, Mrs.
Well, no, it's grand. Nice to meet you, Mr. Feeney. I have to be going. I'll not be asking my son any more questions. Come on, Colm.
Goodbye now.
You're a bastard.
Which is worse, an upset mother or a dead child? Don't look so shocked. What would you expect us to do? Now here's the message. Take a good hard look at it. Last will and testament of one Mossie Kinsella. Notice anything?
He left his farm to my Auntie Han. Jesus.
Not that. Further down. Why do you leave anything to that young lad?
Money for his education. Fair play to him. I know he took a shine to Colm.
If his wishes are carried out, the prospect of money might help to loosen the young lad's tongue.
You heard Mrs. O'Sullivan. That won't happen. Is this legal?
They were his wishes. I'd not deny that to a condemned man. You are sure that he was the informer?
There was information that he was saying things, threatening things.
He struck me as too much of a loudmouth for an informer.
Our source was reliable. How are you, Paddy? You alright?
I'll be off, Tomas.
Right. Bye now. What is it, Paddy?
You tell me. I bumped into Mrs. O'Sullivan outside. She nearly took the head off me. When I tried to reason with her, she started crying and said I should ask you. What's she on about?
No one believes it.
No one believes what?
She has some notion that you're behind Mossie getting killed, and Colm saw it, so...
Jesus Christ! Is she serious?
She probably heard some of the women talking and picked it up wrong.
There's others talking.
I think so.
I had nothing to do with it.
I know that.
Is your mother upstairs? I want to hear what she has to say.
Well, that mightn't be a good idea. You know my mother.
I'm not having people accusing me behind my back.
Well, leave it for a while, Paddy. My Auntie Anne is up there with her.
Was the whole bloody women's group talking about me?
No, it'll blow over. Paddy, I wouldn't.
Mrs. Barry! Can you come down? Come down now, Mrs. Barry. Please.
Paddy.
What in the name of God is all the shouting about? It's you, Mr. Dooley.
I want to know what's being said about me.
And you can't just ask like a sane person in here, shouting and roaring like a madman.
I heard that there's rumours circulating saying I'm responsible for Mossie's shooting.
The evidence is circumstantial, but you had a motive and probable cause which would stand up against any inquisitorial procedure.
Will you stop it with your fancy talk? I did nothing.
We've all heard you and Mossie fighting over that money.
He owed me.
Motive?
What?
You didn't even go to his funeral.
I am not a hypocrite. I didn't like the man, And I certainly didn't mourn him when he died. But I had nothing to do with his killing.
What's going on?
Joseph, tell them I had nothing to do with Mossie's killing.
No one believes that, Paddy.
Your wife does. Your sister does.
I don't want to believe it. I try to see the best in people, but...
As a matter of fact, I have spent the past half hour defending you, Mr. Dooley. But with your carry-on now shouting and roaring, well, I do have to wonder.
Wonder no more. I did nothing. And if anyone says otherwise, I'll have them up on slander charges. Maybe you know what that is, Mrs. Kilbride.
No one will say anything, Paddy. You've been a good friend to us for many years.
A good friend to you, you mean?
To our family.
To you. Yeah, maybe you should have married him.
Brigid, please.
Don't Brigid please me. He's after coming in here shouting and roaring at your wife, and what do? You stand up for him, as usual.
He doesn't want the whole town telling lies about him.
And I don't want the whole town saying my husband thinks more of his friend than he does of his wife.
For God's sake, Brigid, that's...
It's all right, Joseph. I'll not come between a man and his wife. I'll not set foot in here again.
Paddy.
I know where I'm not welcome.
Brigid. Brigid, you've gone too far this time.
He barred himself. Why don't you run on after him if you're so worried?
What has he ever done to deserve your abuse? Is it jealous you are? Jealous of our friendship?
I don't have to listen to this.
For God's sake, will you both stop it? Can you hear yourselves?
Tomas.
I can tell you now, Mammy and Auntie Anne, that Paddy had nothing to do with Mossie's killing.
How would you know?
Because the volunteers were operating on other information. From someone else.
What information?
It seems someone saw Mossie acting suspiciously and reported him as an informer. They were concerned for a family member.
You're making that up.
No.
No, trying to defend Paddy like all the men in this house.
If Paddy was behind it all, why would Mossie ask for his debt to be paid in full?
Mossie never asked for that. We all know he never paid. And
I have Mossie's last wishes. He wanted Paddy paid the money he was owed.
How did you get that?
It was passed on to me.
It doesn't look very legal.
You're the family expert in legal matters, Auntie Anne. Maybe you should check it.
It's only a piece of scrap paper. A photograph of Mossie. I, Mossie Kinsella, being of sound mind and body, do bequeath my farm and house to... Oh my God. Oh my God. Tomas?
That's what he wanted.
Annie, are you okay?
Don't call me Annie. I have to go. Now, here, Tomas, take it back.
Anne!
Go after her, Daddy.
But I don't know what's going on here.
Just go.
Right so.
what you said earlier about... Is it my fault?
You've told us often enough, Mammy. All actions have consequences.
Oh, dear God.
Fractured is a Down at Heel production. All episodes were written by Joe Bergin, Brendan Farrell, Claire Joyce and Martina Riley. Sound engineer is Brendan Farrell. Fractured is supported by Kildare County Council through a bursary from Creative Ireland. It is also supported by the County Kildare Decade of Commemorations programme and the Department of Tourism, Culture, Arts, Gaeltacht, Sport and Media under the Decade of Centenaries 2012 to 2023 initiative.